Hello. So this is the long-awaited review of WCW Superbrawl II. This was on February the 29th, 1992. So it started with Jim Ross introducing the new voice of WCW, Jesse the Body Ventura, who'd already been announced as being there when he came out of Clash of the Champions. A bit weird. They made like this really big deal out of it, so it's a bit odd. Here you go. So the opening match of the evening was for the WCW Light Heavyweight Championship, and that was between Flying Brian and the Light Heavyweight Champion Jushin Thunder Liger. Probably the best match of the night. Really good. At that point in time in the 90s, especially in America, there wasn't much cruiserweight, light heavyweight, flying off the top rope stuff, but it's like quite prevalent now. So that was pretty good. And shockingly, Flying Brian won. He pinned Jushin Thunder Liger with a quite unique move when he put his feet under his shoulders or back of his legs and just turned him over. It's really good finish, and he is now your new light heavyweight champion, and he's won it for the second time. Two-time light heavyweight champion. The next match was a singles match between Marcus Alexander Bagwell and one half of the new WCW United States Tag Team Champions, the Tailor-Made Man. So yes, just a bit of a side note. I didn't see this, but apparently Tailor-Made Man and Greg Valentine won the US Tag Team titles I think it was on a main event just before Super Bowl. But yeah, couldn't find any results of that, so there we are. And this wasn't very good, to be honest, this match. It was alright. It was there. It wasn't great, it was alright. And Marcus Alexander Bagwell got the win with the pin. And the next match was the psychotic Cactus Jack against Ron Simmons. And Ron Simmons won. He beat Cactus Jack. He pinned him. And then after the match, Abdullah the Butcher came down. Now, was he going to attack Cactus Jack or was he going to attack Ron Simmons? He attacked Ron Simmons. And then we beat the crap out of him, basically. And then, who's this coming down the stairs from the crowd? It's Junkyard Dog. Yes, Junkyard Dog came in and made the save. Started beating the bejesus of Cactus and Abdullah. And they decided that it was time to go. And they went out there. And that's, yeah, and then, Junkyard Dog, and of course, Jesse wasn't very happy seeing Junkyard Dog saying, oh, he shouldn't be involved in this. Well, he wasn't involved, the match already finished by them. Anyway, the next match, oh God, I don't want to review this match. The next match was a tag team match between Vinny Vegas and his partner for the evening, Richard Morton, and they took on Van Hammer and the Z-Man. It was terrible. It really was terrible. It went on far too long, and JR was putting Vegas over right at the end. He's like, oh, what a great performance. No, it was awful. Van Hammer and Z-Man won. It was just awful, really. Terrible match. Don't want to see that again. I probably will do, though. And next was a tag team grudge match between two members of the Dangerous Alliance. That was Larry the Cruncher Zbyszko and his tag team partner, the WCW World Television Champion Stunning Steve Austin, and they took on the Natural Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham. And this is a good match. It was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Probably a bit too long. It did go on too long for my liking, but yeah, it was a good match. And Dustin and Barry picked up the victory, which is good. Side note, Larry Zbyszko started calling himself the Cruncher after what happened at Halloween Havoc in October '91, where Barry Windham turned up, and this is how this match started. Was how this feud started, I should say, where they broke Barry Windham's hand in the door of the car, hence why he called him the Cruncher. Yeah, good, isn't it? And your next match was for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. Yes, your second title match of the evening. And the challengers were Rick and Scott, the Steiner brothers, looking to become WCW World Tag Team Champions for the third time, taking on Arn Anderson and Beautiful Bobby. Again, good match. Really enjoyed it. Though the ending was a bit... but yeah, it was a good match. So the ending was, I thought, a bit cheap and a bit... just WCW is just the way they did things then. So Arn Anderson got some, what looked like salt or, the usual sand, throw it in the eyes. And that's what he did to Rick Steiner. And Rick didn't know what he was doing. And then they kept saying he suplexed the referee. He didn't. He just picked him up and dumped him on the floor. And Jesse was going, oh, this is a disqualification. And the match continued. And Scott Steiner gave Beautiful Bobby the Frankensteiner and then pinned him. So it looked like the Steiners had won the tag team titles. But actually what happened was a gang of refs came down and said, what's going on here? And then the ref, who was Randy Anderson, went, no, he picked me up and he hurt me. So the Steiners lost by disqualification, which meant the tag titles stay in the Dangerous Lines with Arn Anderson and Beautiful Bobby. On a side note, they were complaining about like it was it should have been disqualified. Well, then JR sort of told basically Jesse the Body Ventura that Steiner pinned Eaton and they weren't the legal men. It was Arn and Rick. So yeah, that would have been the wrong result anyway. But yeah, cheap finish for my liking. Then we come to the semi-main event, which was also for a title. This was for the United States Heavyweight Championship. And Rick Rude was defending the United States title against the number one contender, Ricky Steamboat, who was accompanied to ringside by the Ninja, who didn't say anything and just did usual. That's so embarrassing. I do apologise. That was terrible. So yeah, good. Another really good match. It's overall, this is a good show. And again, a cheap finish, but a cheap finish that I think probably in this case was right. So basically, it got to the end. At one point, Steamboat suplexed Rick Rude off the top rope, which was great, really good. And then he went off to the other side to, I think he was going to do a flying crossbody off the top rope. And then the Ninja jumped onto the ring apron and pulled out a telephone and walloped Ricky Steamboat over the head with it. And then obviously Rude pinned him from there. I wonder who the Ninja was. And then, so they went backstage after this, and like JR was going, this is ridiculous, that's got to be Paulie Dangerously. Missy Hyatt went looking and managed to open the door to the Dangerous Alliance, and look who was dressed in a ninja uniform. Yes, it was Paulie Dangerously. So yeah, there we are. Obviously it was Paulie Dangerously. Who else carries a phone with them? And then the main event was the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, where the not seen at all for about 6 weeks, Lex Luger defending the world title against the man they call Sting. And actually, this wasn't a good match. It was all right, but for a world title, it was instantly forgettable, to be honest with you. Disappointing, to be honest. It didn't go very long, to be honest. I think it was about 10-15 minutes, and it was all right. Luger looked like he was out of breath most of the match. He was breathing really heavily, and they were like going, "Oh, what a great physique!" And I'm like, yeah. So Harley Race on the outside tried to get involved. I think he was going to try and pile drive Sting, and then Sting back body dropped him. Sting then jumped off the cross rope with a flying cross body. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Your new WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Sting wins the WC title for the first time. Now, they were saying like, oh, it's his second world title. No, it's his first, because the first world title was when they were under the NWA. This is a different title. So yes, Sting wins the WCW world title for the first time. Technically, 2-time world champion, but in this case, first time. So yes, Sting is your WCW World Heavyweight Champion. That is Superbrawl 2. It had some good parts. It had some really bad parts. It's good in parts, I'd say. It's okay. I've seen worse. Yeah, I've really seen worse. But yeah, that is your Superbrawl 2. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. It was good in parts, and some of the matches like the opening match was just brilliant. The tag match was good. The US title was good. But yeah, some good matches. Main event was very disappointing. I would have hoped they would have done better than that. But there you are. That was that match. That was this review. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you at ringside. Bye.